Welcome to the Channel for Grace. Gobind will be live shortly. Book a tarot or astrology reading on our website, channelforgrace.guru, and check out our latest programs and classes. Please give us a share and a like, and we hope you enjoy the broadcast. Welcome to the Channel for Grace. Gobind will be live shortly. Book a tarot or astrology reading on our website, channelforgrace.guru, and check out our latest programs and classes. Please give us a share and a like, and we hope you enjoy the broadcast. Welcome to the Channel for Grace. Gobind will be live shortly. Book a tarot or astrology reading on our website, channelforgrace.guru, and check out our latest programs and classes. Please give us a share and a like, and we hope you enjoy the broadcast. Satnam, welcome back to the channel. My name is Gobind, and this is your Channel for Grace. Thank you guys so much for being here live, and thank you to those of you that are watching the replay. Hopefully you guys can hear me and see me okay. I have like a totally black background today because I had to move the location of the studio, and I can see that the camera is kind of acting up a little bit, so hopefully that'll fix itself. But anyways, doesn't matter, because what matters most is that you guys can hear me and that you can see the cards. So as long as you can see the cards, then we are good. Okay, there we go. They fixed itself. So thank you all for being here. We do have a few people on the list, and what we're doing today in this broadcast is mini readings. And you can get on the list by sending $25 to my PayPal. There is a link in the description of this video that has the PayPal, and all you do is send $25 and then your name is added to the list. We're going to do your reading live, so make sure you're watching this video live before you send a payment. If you happen to be watching the replay, thank you, but I only do the readings while the broadcast is actually happening. Hello, Jeanette, welcome in. So, wow, there's a lot going on, you guys. We had this crazy thunderstorm stroll by, and basically we realized that our roof leaks everywhere. So couldn't broadcast where I was yesterday. I had to move here. Thank God this spot where I usually do my laptop work is not getting rained on. But it's raining right now, lightly, but a little while ago it was like heavy. So it's kind of crazy for us right now. We're both like kind of in disbelief, like, okay, what are we gonna do now? We gotta fix it, but looks like it's gonna be raining, like thunderstorms rolling through pretty much every day, and you have to wait for the roof to dry completely. So anyways, we're kind of dealing with a lot. So on my end, sorry if I look a little off or a little out of it, but at least I'm glad that I was able to create this like temporary view of me, and I know it's a little bit dark, but I apologize. So anyways, besides that, I do want to say thank you guys all for being here. Of course, this is super fun. I haven't done mini readings in a while, But I wanted to make a couple of announcements before we actually dive in. And there's two really awesome things that are happening right now. We have technically started our interpreting astrology school and mentorship, but it is actually open for registration. Our first session is August 10th. We're going to go into the fundamentals of astrology in that class. We're all going to get homework, and then we'll meet the second and fourth week of every month, and we'll repeat that. We'll do a lecture, and then we'll do hello, Ressa, and then we'll do a discussion session. So it's going to be a year-long class, and it is actually so exciting, and I can't freaking wait for us to dive in because I know it's going to be such a fun experience. We had like two more people sign up this week, so please come join us. We're going to have so much fun hanging out together and talking about astrology for a whole year. It is not a class to be missed. And I also starting another astrology school called Goddess Astrology School. And the Goddess Astrology School is all about looking at the goddess through the lens of astrology. And 6 weeks in a row, we will be meeting, I believe it's Thursday evenings, and we're going to be talking about everything goddess, like the dark goddess, the light goddess, the asteroids, Venus. Where do you find goddess frequency in the chart? How do you read into it? And basically understand what kind of goddess archetype you embody in your own chart. So that's going to be pretty fun. Also, and that begins August 22nd. So all right. Don says no apologies needed. It looks illuminating. Powerful reading on the way. Yes. Black and white, yin and yang. That's what I feel. Very cool. Awesome. I also kind of want to turn on that light, but right now I've got my phone charging, my iPad charging. Oh my God. It's a lot, you guys. It's a lot. So if you want to get on the list again, below in the description is the PayPal link. And if you hear the noise in the background, it's the generator, which has to be on while I do this broadcast. But let me go to PayPal real quick and pull out the list of names that I have that are already on the list. So we got Jeanette is on here twice. And then we have Adriana. And then after that, the list is open. Hello, Bernadine. Welcome in. And I'm kind of sniffly and I have a cold, so sorry, I'll be blowing my nose every once in a while. So, Jeanette, let's start with you. And after you, we'll go to Adriana. I'm going to shuffle some cards here, but you guys can choose from astrology. You can choose from human design. We could also do tarot and oracle, which are actually super fun because the intuitive readings with the tarot always end up so amazing. I have, for the tarot readings, I have the Rider Waite deck, and I also have the Animal Spirit cards, which I will also be using. Okay, are you guys present? Is Lily, are you here? And then who is the other reading for, Jeanette? Hello, Adriana. Welcome in. Wow, this is really intense. I honestly don't even know how we're going to fix it. Okay, a natal chart with the current transits. She wants to know if things will get better at home. Okay. And so I'm going to need the birth date and time. And while you put that up on the screen, I'm going to get the share screen ready. If I mute myself, it's because I got to blow my nose. Okay. So now, here we go. It won't even matter because I'm just on the side over here. Hello, Lily. Welcome in. Okay, Ruby. Okay, Ruby or Lily? Okay, here we go. Okay, Ruby. Got it. So let's put in a name. September 30th, 81, 2:15 p.m. Lawrence. Is that Massachusetts? I'm assuming, yeah. Okay, cool. Oh, at 7 p.m.? Is it 2:15 or 7? Let's make sure we got that correct. Oh my God. I'll wait. I'll wait. Verify. Look at your natal chart. Okay, 7. Okay, but okay, so here's what I'm going to say about that. Are you getting your time from like by word of mouth, or did you look on your birth certificate? Because my recommendation is to always check the birth certificate. And then the other thing is, if 7 p.m. is as close to your birth time as possible, then it may be slightly off, because when you have the exact time, then you get the exact information. So I also just want to let you know that as well. I will switch it to 10 p.m. Or 7 p.m. Sorry. Okay, but I actually recommend that you actually do look at your birth chart and find the exact time. But we're going to go with 7 p.m. And I'm going to add some transits here. Okay, so what is happening in the world of home? The question that, and you tell me if this is what you want me to answer as well, was about uh, current transits, and then if things are going to get better at home. Hello, Florina. Welcome in. Okay, fix myself here a little bit. So let's take a look at this chart. And I'll tell you what I see. I should probably look at it here on the screen, so I'm looking forward instead of down. And I can still see the chat. Okay. Let's see. Sun in Libra. Okay, perfect. Moon in Scorpio. You were born right after a new moon. Actually, an eclipse. You were born fairly close to an eclipse, which is interesting in Libra. And yeah, that's south. Well, no, I'm kidding. You weren't born close to an eclipse. Sorry. I was looking at the wrong thing. All right. North node Cancer, south node Capricorn, and the north node in the fourth house. Okay, so here's what I'm going to say about all of this. If you're wondering about what's happening in the realm of the home and family, we look at the fourth house. And what I see in your fourth house is that you have your north node there. And well, currently the moon is transiting Cancer, and every month the moon goes over this area in your chart. And so you're going to feel the effect of that. It's a very emotional frequency. Having Cancer in the fourth house, it's like, it is beautiful because it is the ruler, and the ruling energy of Cancer is the fourth house. So when you're able to you feel at home when you are able to really fully express yourself. And naturally, nurturing is something that maybe doesn't come like totally naturally to you, but it is something that you are learning. And the reason I say that is because with the North Node in Cancer, it means that the realm of the home and family is something that is a challenging thing for you. It is you are here to go outside of your comfort zone. And where you have your South Node in Capricorn is where you feel the most comfortable and where you feel drawn to. So this is being drawn to working, to being like an entrepreneur, to doing the whole corporate thing. And in that space, your soul naturally feels really comfortable. And that's something that's like easy for you to do. So you fall into that role probably within relationships and also within family. But with North Node in Cancer, you are here to find more comfort in the realm of home and family. So this basically says that home and family is uncomfortable for you. Just family in general is a realm that is difficult because when you focus on it, even though this is your destiny, it's like you feel unprepared or you feel like you don't have the skills or you're unsure of how, to sort of be that beautiful, nurturing mother energy. And the truth is that you came here to overcome those insecurities and to actually focus on your family. Because when you do, you unlock this beautiful potential and the beautiful lesson that your individual, unique soul chose in this lifetime. So you have to go outside of your comfort zone and find the energy, the willpower within to like focus on home and family in a beautiful and nurturing way, to be that nurturing mother. And try not so much to focus on career. And you'll notice that when you start to switch that energy up, you're going to feel so much more comfortable and so much happier and so much more fulfilled because you're actually living your destiny. So that's a big deal. And this Cancer season that we just had was really heavy, and like there was a lot going on in Cancer. And so we just got out of the season that was heavily focused on home and family. And so that's when a lot of the kind of crazy stuff was probably coming up for you in this area of your life. But now we're in Leo season. So now it's time for you to focus on what you're actually passionate about. Part of the passion of the fifth house is children. So I don't know if you have kids or not, but letting your inner child out to play, giving yourself time to create, time to express is the focus now. So the energy that's surrounding that, the energy that's surrounding the whole like kind of dilemma that you're feeling happening in the fourth house is done for, at least for this year. However, I will say this, that, and give me one second. Interesting times. Okay, So how does that resonate so far? And then the other thing I want to say is this. Your south node is at 28 degrees of Capricorn, and Pluto is right there. He's playing with like 20, 29 degrees. He's going to be going back into 29 degrees. So what you're actually doing, and this is for basically until the rest of the year, and then once Pluto goes back into Aquarius and doesn't come back into Capricorn, that will be the end of that chapter of your life. And that's basically through the end of the year, and then next year you're in a new, and there's going to be no more going back into this Pluto South Node, which is like what I was going to say is you're healing, karmically healing, and going into the underworld and recognizing and seeing what's there, seeing the shadows. And so because Pluto's going to come back into Capricorn one more time, and your South Node is right there, you're going to continue doing karmic work. And the minute that, see, I'm going to go forward just to show you this, right? September 1st is the day that, there it is, that Pluto goes back into Capricorn. Interesting. So September 1st is the beginning of that last healing phase of that energy. And then I'm going to keep going forward. So all of September, basically going through October, and then Pluto goes direct around October 11th, and he starts moving back forward. He's going to enter back into Aquarius November 19th. And from that point on, it's a new chapter for humanity, and you're done with that. I mean, you're going to feel the lingering effect, the gradual moving away from that heavy lesson that you're learning right now, that you're working through right now. But starting November 19th, that will start to shift, and you'll focus on, healing karma when things happen in Capricorn. Capricorn season. It's going to be an intense Capricorn season because of Pluto being right there. So that's what you got to focus on. And it's a huge lesson for you, right? It's a huge lesson for you. And the healing of that lesson is the important part. And yeah, that's basically what I see in your chart. I'm going to go back to today. Yeah, it's kind of a lot going on. There's a lot of Pluto. Pluto on your South Node is like, man, you're doing a lot of karmic healing. So it's interesting because, what you say, I don't know the reason why one of your kids lives with you and the other two don't. But naturally, you should be able to easily make enough abundance to support a family. However, in this case, when you focus too much on work, you lose sight of family. So the key is you basically need someone to support you more than anything financially, because technically you came here to be like a stay-at-home mom in a way. That North Node in Cancer, it's like home and family is one of the most important things to you. Your soul wanted to experience that, but it takes you outside the comfort zone. So that's why it's probably been so challenging for you. I'm going to look at your chart a little bit more and see if there's anything else. But that's pretty much what jumped out. I feel like it's complete now. I feel like this reading is complete. So hopefully you got some insight out of that. Thank you again for signing up. And let's go to the next reading. Jeanette says, Ruby is my grandkid's mom, and Sophie lives, okay. Got it. Okay, I'm going to blow my nose again. So yeah, all that family stuff it's karmic. Definitely karmic, and you're working on healing that. You need someone to support you financially to be able to like fully be present for your destiny, which is kind of a crazy thing, right? But that means you have to learn um, to have those kind of relationships as well. Yeah, exactly. So that would be my ultimate thing is you literally need someone to support you financially so that you can be a stay-at-home mom. Okay. Yeah, you're welcome. So, let's go to the next reading. All right. So Jeanette wants to look at the progress chart with the current transits. Is there a lesson I am not seeing? Okay. Let's pull it up. All right. Whoa, that's a lot going on here. Let me look at it for 1 second. All right, so in your progress chart, currently you have your moon in Capricorn and your sun in Libra. I think because the South Node is in Libra, that there's a lot of deep relationship lessons. And I mean, look at that. Your Venus is exactly on the South Node, the current South Node is exactly on your progressed Venus, 8 degrees, which in Venus rules Libra, right? So, I mean, this is huge. This makes so much sense because I know you and I know your life and your current experience. So, you're going through major healing of relationship karma through progression, right? Which is actually really cool to look at. This phase of your life is about healing relationship karma, and that includes all relationships. It's also about healing, about your knowledge and knowing of what is the most important thing for you. What is the most important thing that you need, that you desire for your relationships? But there is a lot of karmic healing going on in that space. That I saw that like right away just now, and it's like, whoa, that's a lot. Okay, I'm gonna keep looking. You also have Jupiter on your progressed south node, but you also have pretty much Jupiter on your regular south node too, your natal south node. So Jupiter is magnifying in your own natal chart as well, healing through communication. So learning how to communicate better. Wow. And the other big thing that I see in your chart is Pluto. I don't know if I've ever mentioned this, but transiting Pluto is at 0 degrees, and your progressed Chiron is at 0 degrees. So Pluto is exactly on Chiron. That's deep, like subconscious patterns, like in the freaking ground you may not be aware of, but it's like pulling out this like deep need to heal and liberate yourself. And the ultimate liberation that can happen with Pluto is by letting go of what does not serve you, letting go of the past, and choosing to move forward and heal and move towards the future. And it's an insecurity of like being able to like connect with people. It's also an insecurity about feeling bland. Like you want to be unique, I think that in your true heart's desire, you want to be unique and you want to be special, and you are, but sometimes you are not able to see that, so you feel kind of bland, like you just fit in and you're not special, and that's the deep wound that you are working with Pluto and Chiron. And those two things literally jumped out at me as I was looking at this chart. So I'm going to stop there. Um, that's that. I mean, I don't know. Were you seeing that? Have you looked into that? Did these things pop out for you as well? Yes, and you know what's so interesting about that, Lily, is that it's true. Uh, Karma, and you bring up a good point by saying that you have great karma. That healing karma is not always a bad thing. We think of it as like, oh, karmic healing, like, oh, it's heavy, it's dark, it's difficult. And it is in many ways. But in other ways, it can feel very rewarding and very beautiful and very healing when you actually do the healing. So, yes, totally. Okay, so thank you, Jeanette. And now, uh, let's go to Adriana. Yeah, yeah. All right. So, what do you want to know about your gene keys, Adriana? It's so funny. I had a feeling somebody was going to ask for a gene keys reading. Can you put your info too in the chat? Can you guys hear the rain? Is it soothing? Okay, she's quick. I like it. All right, the month is September. The date is 21. Year is 1991. 1104. And September 21st, 1981, 11:04 p.m. See, look, I was about to put that wrong. Okay, so PM would be 23. 11:04. Okay, here we go. The theme of being anchored into love and embodying it. Saw that it was my gene keys, but I don't really know how to interpret it. Ooh, okay. I'm gonna look at it. Um, where did you see it? Let's just look at the actual chart. Anchored into love. Probably the 25, yeah? You know what's so funny? Well, the first thing I'll say is that I can, oh, like, look at that attraction, 44.4. That's cool numerology. And 4.4 for the IQ. I can kind of throw some things out there, and my intention is that it takes you on a journey of discovering it for yourself. So let's see what comes out. When you said anchoring love, the first thing that when I look at this, I look at the 25th Jinki, which is your evolution sphere. The 25th Jinki is about love. It's actually one of the gates that's found in the G center. in human design, and it's the angle. I don't know if it's the right or the left angle of the vessel of love or something like that. And I wonder if that's your actual. Curious as to if that's your incarnation cross. But I'd have to go. I have to look deeper into that. But anyways, that gene key goes from the shadow of constriction to the gift of acceptance to the city of universal love. And the theme of being anchored into love and embodying it, and not really knowing how to interpret it. Okay. So I think that one of the things that you have to recognize about yourself is the fact that, like, there are quite often times where you take things like really, maybe always, you might always take things really, really seriously. And part of that is it's good, and part of that kind of keeps you in the frequency of like, but there's no play allowed, you know? When we're so serious about everything, it just, it's like you, how do we relax into the knowing? And I think that may be one of the biggest lessons for you is, instead of trying to interpret it, I would say that your best bet is to try to feel it, to try to not think about it, and to try to just be it, you know? Because that process of actually interpreting it also is, it gets lost in translation. It's almost like love is love, you know? And love is everything, and love is everywhere. You know, they say like God is love, but as humans, we put this like moral, we attach this like moral, symbol to it, and it actually doesn't have it. God is not moral. I know that a lot of people are going to be like, what the fuck are you saying? Well, yeah, it's not. Like, the true definition of God is the void. It's, you know, it's the space in between. It's like the black in my background, it's the yin. It's like the thing that like holds it all together. And when we surrender into being, that's us truly embodying love. That's my interpretation of it anyways, So I feel like part of the internalizing, or part of the realization that's wanting to come through you, is what I would suggest is that you release the need to know, and just basically like just be yourself. She says, oh my God, yes, the spiritual path has been so serious. I've had a headache the last few days from trying to let go of control in my mind. Yes. So in your life's work, you have the shadow of seriousness. And in the evolution sphere, you have the shadow of constriction. When you're too serious about things, that constricts you, and that keeps you from actually being able to accept life with its highs and lows, and embody love, universal love, like the ultimate love. And that's the first thing that, like, I just got zoomed into that 25th. It's your evolution sphere. So working to transmute the shadow of seriousness and constriction, but more specifically, constricting yourself into, I don't know, I feel like stress can constrict, limited, not expanding the mind enough, not allowing for a new thought or new way of seeing things can constrict. Being in the mind in general can constrict, and when you let go, and that's what I'm feeling just intuitively, if you let go a little bit more and just let yourself be, that's where that embodiment of like love, anchoring in love comes from. Had a dream about reflecting love into the environment and just seeing what happens. How does that affect the collective? And went on a quest to find answers, which led me to the gene keys. Interesting. Interesting. Yeah, it's a big part. Evolution is basically how you evolve. So you evolve by transmuting the shadow of constriction into the gift of acceptance, meaning you have to accept life where it's at. You have to meet yourself where you're at. I think we try to go so far into the future or think like focus just so much on the future, and we don't like, we're not in the present, you know? And of all the beings, I feel like the reflectors have the ability to truly be in the present. And it's hard because again it's like kind of all over the place. But that's what comes through. I hope that that was helpful for you. But I would, relax a little bit more into just being in acceptance of what is in your life and the gratitude for what is. And then you will actually let go of the constriction and stop being so serious and step into more playfulness and more fun. Like, who gives a fuck about the rules, you know? Like, throw the rules out the window. Throw your like old ideas out the window. Even the goals that you have now, if they're not, if life doesn't feel good, you don't have to do it. You don't have to force yourself to do something that like all of a sudden now you don't feel good about it anymore. It's kind of hard to communicate that also to people, but it is okay to flow. And I think that's a very probably a key word for you is flow, especially as a reflector. So, the other thing I'll say is you do have your purpose is the 10th jinki, which is the shadow of self-obsession to the gift of naturalness to the city of being. So again, it's like the more you let go of being serious, the more you'll be, excuse me, sorry, the more you'll be in delight, the less constricted you will feel, and the more you will accept life and accept where you're at and meet yourself where you're at. Sorry. Oh my god, I'm probably blowing out the mic right now. I apologize. The more you do that, this is obviously an important message coming through in a very interesting way with these nieces. At the same time, your life becomes less and less dull, and you start to actually magnetize more things towards you. And and the key to all of it is to stop focusing so much or obsessing so much over it, especially like yourself. Like, what do I have to do? Like, how do I understand this better? How do I like? That's a lot of focusing on the self. That is actually keeping you from actually just being in your naturalness. But that's your true purpose, is to be in your naturalness. To literally just exist is your purpose. So your unique like frequency and your unique like expression of your DNA is exactly that. Like, that's it. You don't have to change it. You don't have to do anything different. Even though we tell ourselves that we do, you know? We don't. We don't have to do anything different. We just have to be, especially if you have that 10th gene key in your purpose sphere. You're also a 1-3. So part of you have to get it out of your system to study things and learn the details of how things work. So once you get it out of your system and you do the whole like detailed studying of things, then you gotta go out in life and do it and have the experiences and see how it goes. But you cannot control that aspect of it. And that's the biggest lesson, I think. Anyways, hopefully that was helpful. Yeah, had a dream about reflecting love into the environment. Yeah, I read that. So yeah, very cool. Hopefully that helped you out. All right, let's go to, I believe Dawn got on the list. So let us know what your question is. Ooh, life is crazy, you guys. Life is crazy. Pluto in Aquarius is in my ninth house, so it feels like I'm just starting to learn. Dawn. I can't even do like the next 5 months in a private reading. It's a lot of information. You always ask these huge questions. I'm like, okay, I'll try. I'm just kidding. Here we go. You know what? I'm going to look at your progressions real quick because these transits or these aspects in your chart are actually, yeah, you're welcome, Adriana, are actually more of a long, it's okay, more of a long-term um, understanding of where you're at. It's all good. It's all good. I love you, Dawn. um, so let's take a look at what is happening in your progress chart real quick. And then I'll look at the transits. Another good way to look at this, see, you're forcing me to be able to answer that big question in a concise way, and I like that. Okay, good. Yeah, and I like that because it like the answer comes through anyways. I always go like, oh, that's a lot. I don't know if I can look, and then it's like the answer just comes through anyways. The other, and I was going to say that the other thing to look at is we'll look at the nodes as well. Okay, so where's your progress moon? In Taurus. So here's the current phase of your life. You are moving into a phase where it's like the first quarter phase. And that is about like realigning yourself in life. And I know you're doing that already because all the big shifts that are happening for you. And look at that, your Jupiter went direct in your chart. I want to see when that happened real quick. Hang on. Sorry, I'm getting sidetracked. Okay, it wasn't anytime soon, so I'm not going to worry about it. But yeah, so you're entering a phase, a 2.5 year period where you are realigning yourself in life. So the things that have not been working for the last like 3.5 years, no, it's like 7.5 years, they're ending. And it's not like they're ending, you are re-envisioning and resetting yourself on along the story. You're resetting yourself, you're realigning yourself. So it's like, if this isn't working, okay, well, we're gonna do this. If that didn't work, then we're gonna change and go this way. So all the things that are like that you're having difficulty with, those are the things to pay attention to, because it's kind of like the universe being like, okay, that didn't work, so we got to do something else. And then you drop what's not working and you take what is working on your path, and you take that with you moving forward. So that's the phase that you're basically coming into right now. which is really good to know because it actually also really resonates with everything that you are experiencing in general in life. Now I want to look at your transits. And I want to look at the nodes because the nodes is where like the key theme is going to affect you. And the nodes are actually, they're getting close to like transitioning. They're not going to transition into different signs next year, but wherever eclipses happen, they highlight important things. So the eclipses this year are happening in the fall, like during Libra season, but there is going to be one eclipse that is happening that's going to be happening in Pisces. And that's important for you because you are Pisces rising, you have Moon in Pisces, you have Chiron in Pisces. So that's one big theme that for in the next few months, it's going to be kind of being highlighted. So what you're working on right now in general in terms of the nodes is yourself and relationships. You're letting go of relationships that no longer serve you, or healing relationships, or healing karma through relationship. And however that unfolds is however that unfolds, so that you can learn to be yourself, so that you can be more confident and more independent within yourself, for yourself. And not be afraid like, oh, like I need this in my life, I need this person in my life in order for like this to happen. It's like, no, you don't. The lesson right now is no, you don't. You can do this on your own. God, give me 1 second. Okay, so that's the biggest lesson for you with all this nodal transit. Okay, I'm going to go to the eclipse. All right, so facts. There's going to be an eclipse at 10 degrees, a Libra eclipse is going to be with the South Node. It's going to be a new moon solar eclipse with the South Node. And that's around like October, it's October 2nd. And that is like a big for you personally, because this is happening in your 7th house. It's almost like the last thing that needs to be worked through for the whole lesson of like relationship for you to finally unfold. It's the last like big lesson. And I'm seeing like, oh, it's the last, it's like the blast. It's like this is gonna finish this lesson out. And what unfolds from this is like your whole journey through learning about how to be confident within yourself, how to realize that you don't need anybody to do the things that you really want to do, even though, you know, your mind, your heart might tell you like, I can't do this without somebody, you know. You actually, the lesson at least right now is that you got to find that within yourself. The lessons will change, especially next year when the nodes switch signs, but we will get like a preview of the energy of the next eclipses during this month too, because then you have a full moon lunar eclipse in Pisces. And let's move forward to when that's going to happen. Okay, sorry, hang on. I muted myself and then I forgot I muted myself. All right, so that's going to be the big one. And then Obviously, that's happening during Libra season. And then we'll have, there is going to be, you can do it. Okay, Moon in Aries. Okay, there's going to be another eclipse. 23, 12, 1 second. Okay, so this is so at 24 degrees, and this is basically like the full moon of the 2 weeks later is a full moon, but I'm not 100% sure that this one is actually the other eclipse. I'm trying to think about, give me 1 second. I'm going to actually literally refer to my book because I want to get the exact date, and it may be happening earlier than I think. But you asked about like the next 5 months, and so yeah, okay, it's happening earlier than I think. Okay, so that is a full moon. That's not an eclipse. This is what I was talking about, and I was getting confused. It's actually happening before in Virgo season. So we're going to have an eclipse in Virgo season. It's going to be happening on September 17th, and it's going to be happening around 25 degrees. Okay, so that one is actually the really important one because it foreshadows what's coming next year. So, believe it or not, in your chart, this eclipse is also happening in your first house. And it's, again, a theme of self and identity, but the theme isn't Aries anymore in this case, it's Pisces. So, it's actually about embodying this, like a new spiritual self for you. It's about being in that energy and knowing. It's almost like what I'm getting is that all of these big changes that are happening for you in this next few months are happening and ultimately pulling out of you like your renewed sense of self and in a spiritual way, because that's what Pisces is. So that eclipse is going to reveal a lot of things to you about what's important and what you need to focus on for yourself, with your own sense of, knowing who you are and stepping into the fullness of your spirituality. So it's a spiritual journey that you're going to be embarking on, especially next year when the nodes actually switch. But what this is foreshadowing is, hey, this is where you will see the future of what's coming for you, of the beautiful lessons that you're going to be focusing on next, which is North Node, Pisces. So then the Libra eclipse happens in Libra season, and that's the last sort of lesson that you'll have in that space. But the new one is starting to show up. So I feel like you're going to get a lot of kind of revelations. And in the next few months, you are doing that deep work of clearing away what doesn't serve so that you can make space for what does. Okay, I'm going to stop right there. I'm doing great, thank you. So hopefully, how does that resonate for you? Well, if you're looking at the bigger, yes, the spirituality comes through it, but the focus is, you can focus on career, and that's totally fine. But you have to know who you are. That's the lesson that you're going through, and you're discovering that. You know, in the process of doing new things, of trying new things, of working through this, of working through that, you're moving through that. You're learning about yourself. Yes. Okay, great. Awesome. Thank you. I really appreciate you guys. So, I don't see anyone else on the list. So, I'm actually going to go ahead and finish right there. Just because, like, all the stuff's going on here is kind of a lot. So, I will be back at some point to do these mini readings, and I hope that you guys get an opportunity to get one yourself. So, for those of you that did get a reading today, thank you so much. And I will be back tomorrow evening to look at the Leo New Moon Human Design Transit. And then on Sunday night, we're going to be doing our Akashic reading. I'll pull cards for the new moon in Leo, and we'll do that here together on YouTube. So hopefully you can make it to that as well. If you missed the beginning, make sure that you check out the classes that are starting soon, officially starting soon. And it's 2 astrology courses, and I'll let you kind of go through the links and check those out. But we have August 10th and then August 22nd are 2 major dates of when these astrology schools are starting. So I encourage you to check that out. If you have not subscribed to the channel, make sure that you subscribe, hit the notification bell, download my free moon astrology guide. All the links are below, and join us in our global community. And I am thinking about doing a series of Kundalini Yoga classes for free, like a themed sort of set of classes. And in the global community, so you want to make sure you're part of that so you can see all the notifications and come join us when the classes are live. So, all right. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Have a beautiful rest of your Friday. Happy weekend, and I will see you all again very soon. Sat now.